Hello everybody, welcome to another Wednesday night sacred pipe ceremony. I am Patrick, your friendly neighborhood shaman, and as you can tell from my background, things are a little different tonight. So I am actually, as some of you know, I normally do these ceremonies up in my office, which is upstairs from here. Let me adjust that so it and I have this beautiful, beautiful space that I've just fallen in love with. And a couple of weeks ago, I came back from Minnesota, and one of the first things the manager of the store that kind of owns those spaces or rents those spaces for us called me like I was just off the plane. And she said that my office has the only roof access to the building, and they are in the process of re-roofing the building. And so for the next 3 to 5 weeks, I am down back in the store at Four Sisters Holistic Remedies in downtown Renton. They gave me a little space so I can still do my readings and my healings and everything. And last week I went up to my office and still did this video up in my office, which felt really good, and I had some of my tapestry still up there and everything. But I went figuring that after, by 7 o'clock when I do these videos, the workers would be done, and so I could do it in my office. Well, I went up to my office a little bit ago, and there in my office were a pair of propane gas tanks. And so I was like, okay, not a safe place to smoke. So I am down in what they call the Hallows. This is the classroom space. It's actually a lovely space. Let me show you. This is the classroom space of Four Sisters, and you can see that beautiful, whoops, I don't want to cover the camera, a beautiful throne of amethyst. But this is the space where Four Sisters does gatherings and classes and different things. So that is where I am tonight to do my pipe ceremony. And hopefully you won't be able to hear on the other side of the wall is a bar. And they are playing loud music. Fortunately, it's 80s music, so I don't mind so much. But if you hear a pounding, just pretend it's the ancestors drumming along with us. It's either listening to that or moving closer to the door where there's the sound of traffic and possible train. There's a train that comes through right up the street. So this is where we are nestled for tonight. And the first thing I want to do, just like every time, is to set sacred space, to set that safe container for us to connect to spirit, to create that energetic container for the spirits to hold space for us and to hold that vibration around us so that anything of a lesser vibration can't get through. And what that does is allows us then to be able to relax and to kind of lower our shields, right? Kind of open our hearts, because just like water, you can't grasp water, you have to catch water with open hands. If you're going to hold water, it has to be in open hands. And it's the same with spirit. If we're going to hold spirit, we need to do so with open hearts. And so we create that space, we call in the spirit helpers to hold that space around us so that we can breathe and open our hearts and connect to spirit. And so, and there are an infinite number of ways to call in sacred space. This just happens to be the way I do it. Spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the upper world, spirits of the lower world, compassionate spirits of the middle world, the Fae, the spirits of the land, and the ancestors of the land. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for holding us in your love and your light. Oh. All right. Do you feel that? Do you feel the difference? Whew. And when I do that, it's not just here in this place around me. When I set that sacred space, I am calling in sacred space around you, wherever and whenever you happen to be. So tonight's going to be a little different. I've been wrestling with a bit of a challenge today. And I had somebody somebody commented on today they commented on last week's video, and they asked me to take down all of these videos with the pipe ceremony. And this is something I wrestle with on a regular basis, and for me, if you know me, you know my integrity is like one of the most important things to me. And if I thought I was doing something wrong, if I thought I was disrespecting someone, that is the furthest thing from my mind. And so I kind of wanted to talk again, because I know I've been doing these for almost 3 years, and in the course of those 3 years, it gets kind of left behind who I am, what I do, why I do what I do. And so I thought tonight, especially as Imbolc is coming up at the beginning of February, I am a whole mosaic of traditions and ancestors, and so Imbolc is a Celtic, especially Irish celebration, and it is the quickening of spring. And I plan on dedicating next week's pipe ceremony to talking more about that. But why I bring it up now is that this is a perfect time. Imbolc is the time of the quickening. It's the time when new life starts to show. And it is the time of fire and water, the forge. Bridget is the goddess of Imbolc, and she is the goddess of the forge. She is the goddess of creativity, the goddess of poets, and it is the time of dedication. The new life coming up, and it's time to dedicate yourself to your path, to whatever practice you have. And so the timing wise, this seems like a perfect time to kind of go into my background a little bit, just to tell, especially people who are new, who haven't been following me for too long, who I am and what I do and why I do so. Because if I thought I was doing something wrong and I thought I was disrespecting anyone, I would not be doing it. I promise you that. And that is why it's interesting, because the reason they asked me to take down the videos is because they said it was disrespectful to the indigenous people and different things like that. And I am not, and I'm transparent about this, I am not indigenous, but I still have this calling. I am a shaman, and I am a pipe carrier. Both of those things are vocations. Both of those things are like a choiceless choice, that the spirits choose you, you don't choose it. And that is why my integrity is so important to me, because I could just be sitting here spouting off words, making up stories, trying to make everyone like me or whatever. But that's not, if you are a shaman or a pipe carrier and you do that kind of thing, your spirit guides will abandon you. If you are doing anything with ego, either you're going to have that brought up in your face as an issue, a challenge, a fear to get through, to clear yourself, or your spirit guides are going to abandon you. And I have been doing these videos for almost 3 years now. My guides are still with me. And this is in no way meant to be a justification or to make excuses. I just want to introduce myself and my truth of what I do and why I do this. And so I have always been spiritual. I was raised Catholic. I've always been drawn to different traditions, especially Native American traditions, but also the Eastern traditions. I love Taoism, and I'm actually currently working with an Irish shaman to learn more about my Irish and Celtic heritage and how to better honor my ancestors of blood on my father's line. So I've always been spiritual. I've always, when I was baptized actually as a Catholic, the priest who baptized me was a family friend, and he baptized me with the intention that I was going to become a priest. No pressure, right? But that was how I was baptized, and everyone assumed I was going to become a priest. And in some ways I'm not a Catholic priest, but I've always been called to a spiritual practice, to be a spiritual teacher, to be a spiritual leader. And I grew up Catholic, always kind of lived on the fringe. If I had been in the Middle Ages, I might have been burned as a heretic, because I always kind of pushed the edges, and I had the audacity to talk to God personally without the intercession of the saints and such. So I've always been on the edge, not in a way to rebel, not in the way to throw everything out throw the baby out with the bathwater. I've just been always on kind of a leading edge of where others are. And that's not to brag, that's not to boast or say, oh, I'm ahead of everyone or anything like that. But my path then took me through paganism, and then between 15 and 20 years ago, I discovered shamanism. And when I discovered shamanism, it was like a calling home. It was, the feeling was like arriving, like okay, how I deal with the world, what I believe, has a name. And so it was a real homecoming. And I started to explore shamanism. I started taking shamanic journey classes. And there was no stopping me at that point. That is my path. And the funny thing is, traditionally, in shamanic communities, it's taboo to claim that you are a shaman, because it is thought that in doing so, you are claiming the powers that you're claiming. Oh, I'm a shaman, I know everything, right? But I have been called to become a shaman. I am a shaman. And when I say that, I say it from the point of view that it's not me who does this work, that in shamanism we call it being the hollow bone, that the main work we do is clearing ourselves to become the hollow bone so that we can move out of the way. The better you get at shamanism, you are just getting better at moving out of the way and allowing spirit to move through you so that you can become the eyes and the voice and the hands of spirit. And so, and like I said earlier, I have been doing this work, I've been doing the shamanic work for 15 years plus, and my guides are still here. I still have amazing results with my shamanic healing. And because when I say that, I say it with the humility that I do not know, I am not the one in charge. And to me, to claim to not be a shaman, to claim, a lot of people say that they are shamanic practitioners, which is fine. I mean, I am a shamanic practitioner. I practice shamanism, and I am a shaman. And for me to, and I don't know, it's like I don't know that I don't know if this will come across as I mean it, but for me to claim that I am not a shaman would be the place of ego. That would be downplaying who I am, downplaying what I do. And so it actually takes more strength and more integrity for me to claim who I am in that way. And it is the same with the pipe. I have been a pipe carrier for about 5 years now. I learned from a woman who also was not indigenous, but she was taught by Lakota teachers, and I have had a number of Lakota teachers in my past. And 15 years ago, when I first started on, officially starting on the shamanic path, my teacher at the time, who was Lakota, is Lakota, offered to take me on a vision quest. And so I did the full vision quest, 3 days out in the woods, no food, asking for a vision, praying for a vision, and realizing, knowing that I am not indigenous by birth, I actually did a special ceremony in meditation to ask permission from White Buffalo Calf Woman, who is the one who brought the pipe to the people, and along with the pipe brought a total of 7 ceremonies, one of which is the Vision Quest. And so as a non-indigenous person about to take part in this ceremony, I felt it important to ask permission, number one, from the one who brought those ceremonies, and to thank her for allowing me to take part. Now, as a shaman, I speak to my spirit guides. They are part of my authority, right? And so when I thanked her and asked permission, I wasn't expecting it, but she appeared to me. And what she told me verbatim was, what I did was I thanked her for allowing me to take part in one of her ceremonies, even though I am not one of her people. And she came in full force and told me, you are one of my people, as much as if I had given birth to you myself. Which I get teary-eyed just thinking, I'm saying that. And she has been one of my number one spirit guides since then. For 15 years. She is still here. I still answer to her. She is the number one authority on the pipe. And I know from an outsider view, it sounds like I could just be making that up and saying, oh, well, I've got her, nanny, nanny, boo, boo. I've got authority from the spirit, even though you don't, or whatever. The fact that she appeared to me 15 years ago before I had even ever done a pipe ceremony, and all of the interceding years up to this point, I have been shaped and taught and evolved in order to do this work. And there is many non-indigenous pipe carriers. It's not just people. There we go. I just noticed that my video had paused, had stopped. So anyway, I don't know where the video froze, but, and for anyone that's come in late, I just felt like it was the perfect time to kind of explain who I am, where I came from, why I do what I do. Not as asking permission or needing justification or to excuse myself. Not from an ego place of, I can do what I want or anything like that. My integrity is everything to me. And White Buffalo Calf Woman has been my main guide for 15 some years. And in fact, a couple of years ago, she started nudging me to go to Bear Lodge or Devil's Tower. And at the time, I didn't know why. And it was actually just before the trip that I found out that that is where she presented the original pipe to the Lakota people. And that was one of the most powerful trips of my life. I actually got to sit on the earth. Not necessarily exactly where she stood, but to be in the same area where she presented the pipe to the people. I sobbed. I just sat there and wept for a very long time. This is not something I do lightly. This is the heart of the Lakota people. I take this very seriously. And one of the things I asked as I went on that pilgrimage to Bear Lodge and then to Pipestone, Minnesota, where the stone is actually quarried. It's the only place that stone is quarried. I did pipe ceremony every night, connecting to the ancestors of the land and the ancestors of the pipe, asking permission to continue, and it was such a sacred time. And everywhere I went, the ancestors just opened their arms to me. I felt so blessed and so accepted. Now getting to the video part, it is not traditional to video ceremony. It's not traditional. In fact, it's frowned upon by many, many people. And so, again, I did not take doing these videos lightly. I knew that, and I checked with a couple of indigenous friends, and like I said, White Buffalo Cap Woman is the #1 authority on the pipe and on the ceremonies. And when the pandemic started, that is when I started doing videos. It was a time when we couldn't gather in person. And had that not been the issue, if we could have joined in community in person, I would have started doing in-person pipe ceremonies to support my community. But because we couldn't gather, the most logical thing was to do video. And so I started doing, you can ask my fiance, I worried over it. I prayed over it. I did ceremony over it. I kept checking, like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure this is okay? And White Buffalo Cap Woman's response to that was, whose idea do you think it was anyway? So I started doing pipe ceremony. And in my ceremony, I have a special song that she gave me to sing, which is a power song for my pipe, in order to be able to do it on video. And so I started doing videos and supporting my community in this way. And just like when I was Catholic, kind of like I said, I was kind of on the leading edge. I recognize traditions, I honor traditions, I honor the ancestors. She may not be my ancestor of blood, but White Buffalo Cap Woman is an ancestor of spirit. And I honor her. I honor the ways of the people. I in no way want to disrespect or dishonor the ways, but I am going under the authority as a shaman and a pipe carrier, taking my lead from spirit, from the ancestors, from the ancestor who brought that tradition, in order to share. I can see how there is a reason why things were not allowed to be shared in the past. They needed to be protected, they needed to be nurtured. And I think we're coming to a time of sharing. It's coming into the time of the rainbow prophecies. And so I am not claiming to be anyone of importance. I'm not claiming to have higher than thou callings or anything like that. This is my work. This is what I was called to do by spirit. And you can argue with that. You can say, oh, you're just making that up. When I was on my pilgrimage, I specifically, on a number of occasions, asked White Buffalo Cap Woman, what do I do when people question me, when people doubt me? And she said, that's not your issue. If they are connected to the spirits, to the ancestors, ask them to connect with their ancestors, with their guides, to check on my integrity, but that my integrity is intact. And don't think I'm just sitting here going nanny, nanny, boo, boo to tradition or to anyone that has a different opinion or discipline. It is taking everything in me to be able to say these things without breaking down. Again, like I said, with the shamanism and being a shaman, to dishonor the spirits by not doing what they are guiding me to do would be the egoic thing. Oh, I'm so sorry, and you know, let me take your opinion, your belief, your practice over my authority. I'm not trying to say, I'm not trying to put anybody in the wrong. We each have our own journey. We each have our own path. We each have our own expression, especially when it comes to spiritual matters. I am following my path as best I can, with honoring others as best I can. Everything I do authentically comes from my heart. And so I do these things with the integrity and with the authority that I believe that I have from Spirit. And believe me, when I'm done with this tonight, I am going to be sitting here probably for hours doing ceremony, talking to my guides, talking to White Buffalo Calf Woman, to double check. This is what I call a golden lasso moment for me. This is the place where it's time for me to turn inward and to check my integrity, to check and make sure, like Wonder Woman with the golden lasso, there's this comic that is really powerful to me, where she actually puts the lasso around her own neck to make sure that she is coming from a place of truth, of integrity. That is where I am right now. This is a golden lasso moment for me. So you can rest assured that when we are done with this video, I am going to be talking to the woman upstairs to check my integrity, to make sure there's not something I'm doing disrespectfully or dishonorably. And I think that is it for now, what I needed to say tonight. It felt like the perfect time to introduce. You know, I'm not just some Johnny-come-lately, oh, cool spiritual stuff. Oh, I want to do pipe ceremony. This is stuff that has been in the works since the day I was born. And everything has fallen into place, especially in the last 15 to 20 years of practicing shamanism, being introduced to the pipe, all of these things. I am following my path, and if it offends someone, I am truly sorry. I do not mean to offend anyone. I do not mean to disrespect anyone. This is my path. This is another thing that White Buffalo Calf Woman told me on my vision quest, was that my path was to be shared. This is me sharing my path. This is me sharing the most sacred space and the most sacred ceremony I know. This is me opening to Spirit, sharing the magic of the pipe. This is no little thing. I take this very seriously. And so if I offend you, I ask your forgiveness. If you don't understand, I thank you for listening to me. I thank you. I thank you for being on this planet, for questioning me, because that is how we grow. Like I said, this is a golden lasso moment for me. And I am grateful for those moments. That's how I know my integrity is intact. And let's do pipe ceremony. So I've already called in the spirits in the sacred space. And we are going to go ahead and do pipe ceremony now. Thank you everyone for joining me. For those who are new, for those who have been following me for about almost 3 years. Like I said, it would be coming from ego for me to stop. Having ego would be if I stopped and just didn't do this any longer. That would mean me thinking, oh crap, okay, I'm nothing. This is me claiming my power. This is me claiming my place in the awakening of the human race, whatever small portion that is, in the ways that I've been taught, in the ways that I have been guided to and drawn to, with the authorities of my teachers and my guides, and the divine spirit within me. Thank you. So, let's do pipe ceremony. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May the beauty of the fire lift your spirits higher. May the beauty of the earth fill your heart with mirth. May the beauty of the rain wash away your pain. May the beauty of the sky make your mind to fly. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. Thanks, Coyote. May the beauty of the fire lift your spirits higher. May the beauty of the earth fill your heart with mirth. May the beauty of the rain wash away your pain. May the beauty of the sky make your mind to fly. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. Grandfather Eagle, I send a voice. I ask permission to smoke in this place at this time. All my guides and guardians watch over us as we smoke. Creator, Earth Mother, Tawabin, Shonadisi, Mejikiwis, and Wabus. There is always room for you in my pipe. Creator, Earth Mother, for the two-legged, the four-legged, the winged, the crawlers and the swimmers, all my relations, come smoke with us. Grandmother Moon, Grandmother Ocean, to the energy of birth, growth, maturity, the spirit realm and our ancestors, may all the passages of our lives be in harmony and grace. Creator, Earth Mother, to eagle, coyote, bear, white buffalo Capwoman, bringer of the pipe and the law of good relations to the people. Okene bayama okene bayama okene bayama okene okene bayama okene bayama okene bayama okene Okene bayama okene bayama okene bayama okene. Grandmother, grandfather, eagle, we send a voice. Thank you for our lives. Thank you for our paths. Thank you for our guidance, for holding us and carrying us in your unconditional love. Thank you for who we have been, for who we've become, and for who we are becoming. Aho. Ihi la ihi o. Ihi la ihi o. Ihi la ihi o. Ihi, ihi, ihi la ihi o. Ihi la ihi o. Ihi la ihi o. Ihi. Oh. Oofta. Thank you everyone for being here. I don't think I talked enough before ceremony. I don't think I've got much else to say tonight. So if you came in late and you want to hear more about me, who I am, and why I do what I do, I am going to share this video to my Facebook page, and I will also upload it to my Perching Wolf Studios YouTube channel, so you can watch it there. And this, like when we create the sacred space, this moment is eternal. So even if you're watching this a year from now, 10 years from now, your energy is still a vital component of what happens here. And for that, I thank you. Oh, I need to release sacred space. So know that I am available if you would like to have readings or shamanic healing with me. I've got some classes coming up, but I've had to kind of put them on hold. Like I said, my office at the moment has been commandeered for a roofing project, so I don't have as big a space to hold those classes anymore, so I've had to kind of put them off. But stay tuned, watch my video, watch my Facebook page and my website, perchingwolfstudios.net, to stay up to date on all of that. And if you're interested and you don't know about it, Monday nights I also do a live video at 8 o'clock where I do readings with the medicine card deck. And the first 6 people to come on and comment yes, get a personal 1-card reading. And then I always pull a card at the end for everybody. So thank you for your support. Thank you for supporting me and supporting you. I really appreciate you. Let's release those spirits that have been holding space for us so graciously. Spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the upper world, spirits of the lower world, compassionate spirits of the middle world, the Fae, the spirits of the land, and the ancestors of the land. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for holding us in your love and your light. Our work for now is done, but you are always welcome in our circles. All right, my friends, thank you again for joining me. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being here. I totally can feel the love. Your energy, you're not just watching passively. If you're seeing this, your energy is a part of the ceremony, and I can feel it. So thank you. So until I see you next time, know that I love you, that I see you, and that I honor you. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Go shining. Bye.